Hey, what's up, everybody? True Seeker here. We are doing a follow up with Jay Nygard, the Turbine guy, with this crazy stuff that the city of Orono, Minnesota is putting him through.
Yep, here I am, ready to go, ready to talk about how they want me to go to jail next week indefinitely. Not just me, but they want Mrs. Turbine Guy to go to jail too indefinitely.
Now, this to catch everybody up here, the case about the concrete thing is what started all this to begin with. They wanted you to remove the concrete slab that was holding the original turbine to the house, and that got removed and everything. And what happened after that?
Well, what happened was I had removed the pole and the turbine from the property and chopped off the top half of that footing, sliced the anchor bolts off with the Sawzall and buried it. Basically rendered the footing useless, but that wasn't good enough for the city or the judge. So I ended up going to jail until they removed that useless buried chunk of concrete. So that's how the first story ended.
It's insane. And so now they're trying to get you for other malicious things that's in your yard now, or what they're trying to say is out of code, right?
Well, they're trying to say that my firewood pile is unruly and unkempt. And they're trying to say that I have a windsock instead of a flag, and that's bad. And they're trying to say because the order said to cut down one clothesline pole and I didn't cut down both, that's bad. And they're trying to say that because I got poles on my property that appear not to be dock poles, that's bad.
Amazing how it all works. Jay compiled a video together that actually gives a little walk around, and he's going to show you all the stuff that the city was talking about and the stuff that he complied with, and he's also going to show you that his neighbors are also doing the same stuff that they're accusing him of. I'm going to go ahead and roll the clip right here.
We are at the Nygard property one more time, and we are here at 11:11 a.m. on Tuesday, January 22nd, and we are here to take a look at how the Nygards have complied with the court order. Now, if we look around, we can see first and foremost,
Sorry, guys.
there are no construction items. And what they were trying to call construction items was a firewood pile I had. And as you can see, firewood pile's pretty much been reduced mostly to logs that floated ashore and are busy drying out so we can chop them up and burn them. Okay, now, as we go through the order, we have a permanent injunction on a bunch of different things. And as you can see, nothing new has been added to the Nygard's property since this injunction came out. Thus, we haven't violated any of those permanent injunctions. Now, A in the list is miscellaneous dock storage, accessories, wood, metal, and construction maintenance items within the side yard setback. Now, as you can see, we come up the hill, there's where the stuff is. It was all previously, instead of out in the open for everybody to see it, was in the reasonable place we believe on the property to put it, stored it on the side of the house. Now you can see there's nothing here now. A couple of poles that we weren't able to get out because the ground's frozen, but those will come out when the ground thaws. And we can see that there's nothing there. So once again, we moved our dock equipment and tools and dock parts out here. Now, I don't think that the judge meant that we're supposed to move this dock equipment, which is stored within the 10-foot setback, but it's temporary storage because that dock goes in the spring. And I really don't think he meant it, because if you look around, neighbor's house right there has it within the 10-foot. The neighbor next over has it within the 10-foot. The neighbor after that has it within the 10-foot. And then the last neighbor has it within 10-foot. Also, on the other side of the property, we'll take a look, and they've got some there too. Now, if we go right across the street here, we see that the neighbor there has his dock stored right next to the property line. fact, he has a boat up there that's in violation as well, right next to the property line. And then across the street to the left, if you look way close up there, you can see even that neighbor has his dock equipment stored within 10 feet of the property line. So we are surrounded by people who store their stuff along the property line. Even this dock structure right here from the people who filed the lawsuit, Penny Rogers, appears to be within 10 feet of the property line illegally. And permanently. Okay, back in the front yard, the next item on the list is to remove a 10-foot spruce tree with a flagpole attached to it. Well, there's never any flagpole attached. I had a flag up there that was bungee corded it for the winters for a few months. I took that down a while ago, told the judge, but as you can see, there is no 10-foot spruce. It's a lot bigger, and we can't remove that spruce tree. As is in the order, we're required to remove it, but that would be a direct violation of Orono Code and DNR regulations, and then they'd both be coming after us. So we're going to leave that tree and hope the judge sees that was the right thing to do. Next thing we have is a wind turbine, 1.95 foot radius. It says a wind turbine 1.9 foot radius turbine assembly within the side yard next to the plaintiff's property. Well, there's a turbine. It's out of the side yard. It's more than 10 feet, and it came off of that pole. So that one's completed. The next one is a wind turbine, 1.9 foot radius turbine assembly with side yard setback near the Walsh property. Well, we can see here's that turbine out of the 10-foot setback, and there's a pole it came off of. We didn't remove the pole or footing for two reasons. One is the ground's frozen. It'd be kind of hard this time of year to do that. And secondly, is because we weren't ordered to. And we've been through this before where we were ordered to remove a turbine pole and footing, and that was not in this order. Okay, next up are brackets for a flagpole on a shed. Now, this was from a temporary flagpole, folks. Here are the offending brackets. The prosecutor likes the word offending. And they were up there to now and again put a different flag up to maybe celebrate the 4th of July or something else, but I guess that's wrong too around here. Okay, next up on the list is a steel clothesline post within the side yard setback near the Walsh property. Well, there used to be one right there. And there's no post there anymore. Just a nub sticking up because we cut it off, so we covered it with a chunk of carpet so no one would fall on it and get hurt. You can see that's carpet under there. And it used to look like this. Now we had two, but as the order read, it said a steel clothesline post, so we removed the steel clothesline posts. A portable, soft-sided storage structure within side yard setback near the Walsh property. Well, once again, that was a temporary item. That thing's been down for quite a while. It's actually come down twice during the lawsuit because it is temporary, and I use it to cover my boat for the winter. I don't get it. Other people get to cover their boat. I guess I don't get to protect my antique Chris Craft, at least according to this order. Now, something else that we need to make note of is that this right here is a 27-foot Chris Craft stored more than 5 feet from the property line, and it is inoperable, but it's been there less for a year, so it is legal according to code. And in fact, I have a video of the Orono inspector stating, hey, it looks legal to me. Something else to notice, we had a piece of yard art out here, wind turbine on a pole I had. That is gone. That is no longer here. And they were griping about a windsock I had on my shed. So I took the windsock down. Under protest, it's ridiculous how windsock wasn't in a lawsuit. It was up before the judge's order. But I still got to take it down or they want us to go to jail. All right, last thing on the list is non-trash items. And we can see that there aren't any refrigerators or water heaters or washer dryers or construction equipment or indoor furniture or anything like that as defined. And we'd like to remember, there's the dock equipment, like I said. We'd like to remember that the inspector did state on the inspection video that he took no pictures of non-trash items on the property because he didn't believe there were any there. Folks, we have complied with the judge's order to the best of our ability. I mean, even with the clothesline pole, my buddy Bubba said, I'll get that out. And he came out here with a pick. I said, go ahead. 10 minutes later, he comes up and says, that thing ain't moving. Just have to wait till next year if it needs to come out. Well, thanks for joining me, folks. We'll see you in the next video.
Now, that's pretty crazy that they actually got you going through all this. And so, we got a countdown clock up here. You got 9 hours, 10 minutes, 40... Wow, am I reading this wrong? I am reading it wrong. But anyways, with the countdown clock is literally counting down till Monday when you're supposed to go into court at 1 p.m.
Yeah, you're off, buddy. You're off on that one. At 1:30 on Monday Central Time, we're going to court. And I was thinking maybe we should do another quick live thing Monday morning while everyone's having breakfast.
That'd be cool. That'd be actually awesome. I want to follow up after the court too. Are we also going to be able to do that in the evening maybe after that?
Well,
obviously it depends on the answer of what happens there.
Maybe not. It might be you and Mrs. Turbine guy.
I hope it doesn't get that bad. I really hope it doesn't. Shout out to everybody asking for Hangman. Hangman is doing all right. He's still in the hospital. He's stable. He's going to get a quadruple bypass surgery. And so keep him in your hearts and prayers, everybody. But yeah, so you got all that stuff taken care of. And now this is the court that precedes that, correct? On Monday?
Well, Monday it's the same judge who ordered against us. And he pretty much copy and pasted the order that Orono submitted to him. So it's not really on the judge for anything because, the judges are like, well, you got to educate me on what you need. And that's what Orono did. And now that Orono realizes that they wrote a bad order that is crazy, now they're trying to over enforce it against us in a super intimidating manner.
Oh, yeah. It's like bully tactics.
It's not like bully tactics. It is bully tactics.
There we go. We got the clock updated now. Sorry about that. But I don't understand. I mean, the mayor himself, he cloned your LLC. He's trying to push you out of the town. And the judge, he's seeing this and not absorbing it. I'm so confused on that part. Why are they not going, hey, this isn't right. This doesn't look normal. What, are they friends?
Well, it's hard for me to say something like that. I know that the mayor's wife works at a prestigious law firm downtown, and who knows, maybe she has connections or not. But, it sure seemed like since the first time I walked in a courtroom down there, it was decided that I wasn't going to fare very well. And it's been a struggle against that the whole time, including this order that we just are scratching our heads how the city can write such a poor order, then get upset when I follow it.
That is crazy. And Ben's asking in the chat room, the mayor closed an LLC. No, he cloned. He cloned Jay Nygard's Go Green Energy LLC. Literally created another LLC with the same name.
The name of his company was Go Green Energy LLC Corporation.
Kind of funny, isn't it?
Well, sad. And the interesting thing is, as soon as he did that, he had an ethical obligation to disclose that he had a company with a financial interest similar to mine.
Amazing. I mean, this is clearly a coup.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a coup, but what I'm going to say it is a vendetta. because that is exactly what it looks like from here.
Well, explain the other thing that you was telling me a little bit ago, that pretty much this, the neighbors sued the city, and the city pretty much, instead of fighting the neighbors, they allowed it to go on so they could proceed this to you.
Correct. It was actually a plan where the neighbors had threatened to sue the city before the new mayor got elected mayor instead of city council. And their threat was, if you don't go after the Nygards, we're going to sue you to go after the Nygards. They actually held a meeting, city council meeting, with that as a topic.
That is insane, and the judge is just sitting there allowing this circus to go on. It's literally a scaled-down version of the Mueller witch hunt. It really is.
Well, when I watch reports on that, it's hard for me because I see so many parallels between what's going on with Trump and that witch hunt and what's happened to me. Lies, untruths. They're trying to reframe someone's character in order to make him look bad, and they're all trying to get together to get him.
Yeah, I mean, look at all this nitpicking, the little things in your yard they're talking about, and it's stuff that everybody in your neighborhood does. And it's just you, though. Just you is who they're picking at. And that should be a clear sign to that judge. It really should.
Well, I would think someone would recognize that, this community is not a gated community. And to strictly enforce 100% of the rules against every property is not feasible. I used to be on the city council, and I understood, especially growing up here, that you granted variances and allowed people to do things because most of the properties, especially on the lake, do not conform to the zoning code because the zoning code was enacted after all the cabins were put here.
I still can't believe that they actually have a zoning code for you to not have a dock during the wintertime. It's like it's a lake property. Wouldn't you expect it to be there?
Well, it's not so much that. Some people leave their dock in depending where they are, but where I am, the ice shifts so much in the spring, it would rip the dock apart, sometimes in the winter too, and then you'd be spending another 12 or 20 grand for another dock. So what you have to do is you have to pull your dock out and you have to store it. And everybody stores this stuff along the edge of property line, and it's been that way forever. I mean, I don't ever remember anyone saying, hey, can you put that dock in front of my window?
Let's see. What was Carol Reed saying? Because the chat doesn't scroll back for me when I'm on this mode. I just seen in the room. Someone says, "Look what Carol Reed has been saying. Sounds like good advice." Oh, it's Julia that said that. Yeah, Jay has actually a pretty good attorney on this. Is he also working on a civil rights case with this?
Yes, we're working on that, and it's quite interesting because we announced our civil rights case publicly, did a live Facebook and all that, and before we could file it, the neighbors went after us and went after the city and to go after us. So this, I think, was kind of to prevent us from being able to get to federal court where we think things will be more opportunistic.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Is there anything else you want to leave to this?
Oh, goodness. Are you kidding me? Where do you start? My wife and I are both actually classified as disabled adults. My wife was in a car accident, which wrecked her kind of back and neck, and she had to retire from being a corporate executive. So they're trying to indefinitely put a corporate executive, former corporate executive who's disabled, in jail. Now, I know my wife's in a lot of pain, but I can't imagine that they'd allow her the certain narcotics and everything else that she needs to get through the day. So that's one thing. The other thing is they want to immediately jail me and to do it indefinitely. And the crazy thing is the contempt or statute itself says that you can only enact a 6-month sentence. So what's the city doing going for an indefinite term when the state statute says something different? You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a scare tactic. They're trying to get you to just give up. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, I kind of think they're trying to bully us into giving up before their poor workmanship is exposed in form of the order, because there's no way this order can stand up on appeal. And someone said about getting a lawyer. Well, my lawyer is basically an appellate lawyer. When they write stuff, so when it gets to the appeals court, you're ready to work on the constitutional and other areas. And they are quite confident that we're going to do well when we get there.
Yeah, I think so too, because I think this is a clear case of harassment and definitely an abuse of city local power.
Oh, there's no other way to put it. When the city says that they have $2,000 in an email to you to go after code compliance, and yet the neighbors sue the city to enact $1 million insurance policy, and they use that as opposed to get out of the lawsuit to go after us. I mean, really, $1 million to go after us, and 2,000 for the rest of the city. Sounds to me like someone had a plan ahead of time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I said it sounds like a coup to me, and especially with his name being on that LLC. It's like you could just see it's guerrilla warfare kind of tactics. He's hitting you from all these different angles. He's having people on the ground that are suing you. Then he has the city writing city ordinance violations against you, and then here he is trying to get your LLC. There's multiple different tactics, all coming from the same source of people.
Well, not only that, the mayor Walsh, he actually sued me during the last election cycle and filed an Office of Administrative Hearings complaint for election violations, that I was conspiring with another guy I hadn't talked to in 15 years. And it turned out he withdrew that stuff, but I had to hire a lawyer and defend myself for all this stuff, and it wasn't cheap.
Yeah, it sure isn't.
Yeah, no apology, nothing. Just, I'm going to sue you and withdraw it after you've had to spend several $1,000s.
That's
And,
crazy.
and that doesn't include when he filed 2 false police reports in one day, and one of them got me prosecuted for disorderly conduct, in which I was exonerated by a jury in 15 minutes, and he was found to have caused perjury on the stand.
What did he get charged with? Anything for the perjury?
Oh no, everybody can lie on the stand unless you're one of Trump's buddies.
That's crazy. I believe it though. I believe it. I live in a real crooked city, so I know how that stuff goes.
Oh, so some of the stuff he says is just nuts. And I'm not just saying that. The mayor was actually found uncredible by the Office of Administrative Hearings due to another election complaint related to his getting elected. So he was already found non-credible by a 3-judge panel, I think it was.
My goodness.
Now
It's just like what we're seeing in DC.
it is, and now you got the same guy trying to run my company out of business and admitting that he formed the company to compete in the green energy field.
This fucking wow. I mean, and they get away with this. They get away with this. Hopefully this video actually gets out to enough people that they know they're being exposed now. And I mean, cuz this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous.
Well, I don't know how else to put it. I've spent the last week, honest to God, preparing to go to jail because I never know what's going to happen when I go down there.
Man,
I'm,
oh man.
I'm getting extra food for the cats and the dog. And, I got a disabled service animal. This poor guy's got bad hips and the weather's so cold. I've been having to carry him outside to go to the bathroom. And now I'm supposed to go to jail and worry about my dog?
Yeah, I don't know what to even say about it because it blows my mind that it's even still continuing on. When did this start? Wasn't this about 4 or 5 years ago?
The original lawsuit was 2011.
This is insane and still just dragging out like this.
Well, it's getting worse and worse. Because when you find out certain facts from other people you didn't know 4 or 5 years ago, that like the neighbors are spending 15 to 20 to 40 hours a week trying to figure out how to chase us out of town, and then you find that out, you just shake your head. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, can't I just live my life without these people looking at me?
Man. So, what are you presenting them Monday when you appear?
There's two different things. Well, several. First of all, the neighbors tried to glom onto the contempt charge by the city and ask for other things to be removed that were not adjudicated, and they don't have standing to do it. So we moved to dismiss their little addition as frivolous. The next thing is dealing with the city, and we're going in like we firmly believe, and my video shows that we complied with the order as written. And we've dealt with orders before, and how they're written isn't something new to us. We've had to comply word for word, so that's what we did. And if for some reason there's other issues, we're willing to talk and deal with it. I mean, I got to think that I've done my best to comply given the weather conditions and given everything else in this state, and that I've made a good faith effort to do so, and that trying to put us in jail for making a good faith effort is just over the top.
It is indeed.
And that's why I made my videos. I haven't said this, everybody. I'm the Turbine guy. Search me. I need subscribers. Hop on, subscribe up for me. I'm making videos like the one I'm just ready to release. I'm announcing it right now, that this one dissects the city's contempt charge and shows that not only does it violate state statute, but they try to get contempt against my company, Go Green Energy, which the judge denied because you can't put a company in jail. And, you'd think a vaunted city lawyer would know something like that.
Yeah, honestly, you would.
Yeah, so you got lawyers filing things that they have no standing to file, just as the only thing I can figure is to intimidate. And then you look through the contempt thing, what they want, the relief they want, and Go Green Energy is not mentioned once. Mrs. Turbine guy in our IR. Well, why the heck is Go Green Energy included in anything if you're not listing them as having to do with anything?
Right. And he doesn't even have an actual physical company even linked to that. He just wanted that name, right?
You know what? We tried getting that out of him in a deposition, but he's one of those guys who refuses to answer a question straight, at least from what I saw. And so I think it's hard to state why he would do it. All I know is, the guy has filed false police reports to get me prosecuted. To me, actually, he has stood on the neighbor's boathouse to taunt my son, who suffered a brain injury in a car accident while my son was working. To me, there's something wrong with this guy inside, and that's why he would do that.
Thank you for the tip there, Pete. Yeah, I mean, that's super, super insane. I mean, wow, like, are they working on a countersuit that you could do? I mean, this is a lot of stress and everything. And you said your wife actually ended up moving to your Florida property over this, didn't she?
Yep, she did over a year ago. She couldn't handle it up here with all the stress, and friends don't like to come over because you can just feel the eyes on you when you go outside. And you know what? The sad thing is, if you do a data request or during this lawsuit, we've had so many documents given us. These guys are watching us all the time. All the time. They're monitoring my Facebook page. They're watching my Turbine Guy channel. And they're passing this information back and forth with the city.
Super insane. Yeah, he was telling me the other day that they sent him an email that he was posting stuff on Buddy List.
Yeah, I sent you that email. The city attorney, Mr. Jared Shepard, filed a response to our motion to dismiss the contempt stuff. And in it, all it was that I made a YouTube video showing compliance. And in the beginning of the video, I said that I believe the order was unconstitutional. That's all I said. I didn't say anything bad until I got to him. And I said that, I've seen him lie. He's a liar. Well, I've seen him lie in court and claim I'm a killer. I've seen him lie in court and claim I'm a killer. So I've seen it happen, and I'm not going to back down from these people. I'm going to say the truth when the truth is there to be said. So that's what he submitted. He copied your buddy list page for that video, and he copied my YouTube page so he could have those descriptions to try to make me look bad in front of the court, even though it has nothing to do with their supposed contempt charge.
That is total insanity.
But that's how they work. Their whole goal, and with the neighbors, their whole goal was to mischaracterize me for years. And that's what the city keeps trying to do. Why else would the guy stand up in court and lie and say I wanted people killed when that wasn't what was printed in front of him?
He's trying to get you, for anything that he could. Anything he could. I've seen some lowlifes do stuff like this to that Luke We Are Changed. They was sitting there, he was outside a building protesting or something, and the security was trying to tell the police that he has wires and stuff sticking out of his backpack. It might be a bomb. It's like people that do stuff like that to try to get you into more trouble, or just they're guilty of something to begin with. You could tell.
Well, if you're religious, you understand their day will come.
Oh yeah, big time.
And isn't that the whole point of being religious, is to let them have their day when they come?
Yep. The olden times, it used to be kill them all and let God sort them out, but now we're supposed to let free will do that.
Yep, no, I agree. But, that's why we're doing these videos, too, because we got free will and we're allowed to speak our own mind.
Yep. I mean, that's the only right that we really have left, and they're trying to take that one away, too.
Oh, I can guarantee you that's something the city's going to try to bring up is to muzzle my YouTube videos as if I'm doing something wrong.
No, there's nothing you're doing wrong, and I'd like to see them even try to do that, because I think that right there would be their demise.
Oh, especially with my lawyers. My lawyers already won at the U.S. Supreme Court over an election free speech thing at voting polls.
Yeah, that would be their demise if they tried to silence you from. I mean, you're free to do this. This is your United States citizens' right to be able to do this.
Well, not only that, like we've talked, I'm kind of turning into a journalist because I'm producing what I consider to be news. So I got to get extra leeway and protection that way too.
Absolutely. You get freedom of speech, freedom of the press, right there.
Yep, I agree. No, it's crazy. I'll just say it again. Turbine guy here. Hey, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, please. I gotta get up.
Type in the chat. That way they could click on your name and go to your channel.
Type me in, will ya? I tried to get my other computer going, but I've been too wrapped up.
I can't type for you. You gotta. I'm talking about in the YouTube chat. Type right there on the live stream real quick. Say hello or something.
Okay, I will, but you got to talk because I can't talk.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and do that. That way you can go to his channel and subscribe directly to him. If not, I think all the videos I have that I've already done with him has links to his channel or his videos, at least. I know there's a link back somewhere there. He's also on my new video platform called Josh UTV. And like I said in my previous video, we're going to have live streaming and everything rolled out on that by the end of next month. So if you haven't created an account on there on Josh UTV, definitely do so. Because, yeah, I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff there and here, but that's going to be my new home. There's his name right there in the chat room, Turbine Guy. If you want to go to his channel, just click on that and then you'll be able to go to it. His lawyer, I believe, is working on harassment. Because, I mean, this is a clear case of it. It's a clear case of harassment, and the city's the one that's sitting there trying to, they're trying to be blind to this. They're acting like they don't see this happening. Carol's asking you if other people are having similar problems, Jay. Lost the microphone. Drop the mic. While we're waiting for his mic, how is everybody doing?
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Cool. Okay, now ask me that question again.
All right. Well, I was pretty much just asking on. What was I asking? I don't even remember now.
The harassment deal.
Okay, yeah. Carol Reed asked why you can't sue for harassment, and I believe that. And then you just say your lawyer's working on that.
We're working on what's called a 1983 claim, which is a First Amendment retaliation claim for the U.S. Constitution. So we're working on that. Included in that is abuse of process. When they left me in jail for an extra day, when that comes up, that's going to be unlawful detention. There's a lot of claims that are going to go in with this. Unfortunately, we got short-circuited with this lawsuit, which has only exacerbated and allowed us to get a ton of more evidence in regards to our civil rights claim.
Oh yeah, it's going to be pretty big. And they don't look innocent at all in this whole entire thing. There's nothing hidden about this. This is almost as laughable as the Hillary email case. Like, everything's public. You can see this all. Especially that LLC, I think, is the biggest one that drives the nail in the coffin. He cloned your LLC. I mean, this just seems like a personal attack.
Well, and I sent that video to the city council, and no one responded to me, so I sent him another email and said, well, I guess since none of you responded, maybe you didn't get it, so I'm resending it. And then I got a couple of responses, but I can almost guarantee you that the Orono City Council isn't going to do a thing about it, and it's up to them to honor their own ethics obligations to do something about this.
It's up to the people in that town to get them to do it, because that's just how it works. They're going to sit there and do whatever they want until there's enough exposure happening to them. Once people realize how crooked they are, that's when they want to change their game. That's when they want to have a whole new song to whistle.
Well, then the city gets more defensive. One lady, I think, asked if I'm the only one in the city, and unfortunately, no. There was a friend of mine who she's over 70 years old. She had throat cancer and survived it, and she's just a small, frail lady. And they actually filed criminal charges against her for renting out one dock slip on her boat for the summer, and she uses that money to make sure she can pay her taxes and stay in the cabin.
Wow. What a bunch of crooks.
So then when she fought it and got a decent lawyer who said, wait a minute, what you're doing is wrong, they added a second charge. Illegal rental without a license. But the best part is further research found out that there is an exception in the rental ordinance specifically for a single person living at home renting out to one person who allows others in the common area. So in essence, the city of Orono's second charge against her was for something that was legal.
Just like they did with the Turbine.
Exactly. That's what they do up there. They just throw stuff, and if the judges go for it, then, they don't have to worry about it. But if you're going to do like I did in the disorderly conduct charge, you got to fight it for 2 years, pay a lawyer, go through a trial, and get real people like you and me to say it's BS.
You really do. That's the only way you can actually fight stuff like this. A lot of people keep saying, oh, why didn't you just comply with the city code and blah, blah, blah. If everybody just bent over and took it up the ass, I don't think anything would ever change. No one understands that It's just I find it insane that there's so many people in the comments that still say this to this day. It almost makes me think it's the same people. I think they're just creating new accounts and just commenting. It might be your neighbors. I don't know. It's something weird, but they keep saying the most ignorant stuff in the world. That's not how you win anything. If you want your freedom, you got to take it.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You got to stand up for it. But let's take what you said one step further. What if you're doing legal stuff in the first place and they go after you and the courts let them win?
I don't know. I don't know after that. I mean,
Well, that's what's happened to me, and that's why everybody should be afraid for their Second Amendment right and other stuff. Man, you know what? When I first put the turbine up, there were windmills in Orono when I grew up, and there was a 1995 state law that stated every person in Minnesota gets to harvest the wind. Now, the city of Orono never brought that up, and we didn't discover it till way down the litigation trail. But for some reason, it was supposed to be our responsibility to find the law and not the city's. And the city is the one that's obligated to follow the law.
yep, absolutely. And that's the thing I'm not understanding is the court is not, you know, they're obviously playing a favor in this. They're favoring the city over you, which that's what I'm not understanding. Is this going to have to take the Supreme Court?
Well, I wish they would take up my cause because it's more important than just me. I'm just one of many, of many. This happens all over the place. The old lady I told you about, there was another guy in Orono about 10 years ago that they sent to jail for 5 days. And the reason they sent him to jail was because he had some lumber and ladders on his property that the city trespassed on to take pictures of. And the judge, they had a court date and he was there and it got moved because of the city and it got moved again. And the guy was a trucker and he couldn't make it. So because he couldn't make the third court date because he had to earn a living, they sentenced him to 5 days in jail.
It's ridiculous.
That's Orono, Minnesota.
Victimless crimes all day. These cities are crooks.
Oh, I know the guy, and the crazy thing is, he said that was the worst 5 days of his life. It was the absolute worst 5 days of his life. And what did the guy do? He had stuff on his property, and it wasn't overly burdensome.
That is insanity. It's almost like living back in the old English times with the king off at your head if you don't like me.
Well, that's kind of it. It's like, where has the common sense gone? Jail is for criminals. You find other ways to get people to comply with what you want. You don't throw people in jail. You don't take people's liberty, their liberty, over minor property issues. That's as ridiculous as it's ever gotten.
Yeah, that's total abuse of power, and it makes no sense, especially this day and age, for them to even still do that. Like, I know our traffic courts here, unless you killed someone, they don't even arrest you if you miss a court date anymore, because it's over a car issue. It's a ticket,
Oh yeah, and that's why marijuana is getting decriminalized or legalized everywhere, and other stuff. We're actually loosening up the minor stuff so we can worry about the big stuff, because we found out that if you got your head up your rear end over the minor stuff, it's way expensive and everybody's in jail.
And that's exactly what they're still pressing for right now. That's why I find it so strange that the court's even allowing this, being 2019 now. What the hell's going on there?
I don't know. I got to shake my head sometimes because, I mean, I don't want to go into what the ruling was, and I don't want to speak poorly of the court, and I never have. But what I want to do is say that I don't understand. I just don't understand some of the rulings that have come our way, and how people. And it seems like a thing that has a certain distinct meaning ruled on by an appeals or Supreme Court ends up being twisted the other way against us. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. It makes no sense. It's sickening.
Well, you know what? That's what happens to a disabled military vet in our country these days.
It is. And if it's not that, a lot of them go homeless. It makes no sense, but heaven forbid if you're an illegal immigrant, none of this would ever affect you.
No, that's a whole different world of protection. And that's what's unfortunate is the lack of protection. And I could go into a lot of different things, but I'll just say the most egregious thing that's happened, other than this property stuff, is we've actually had two different windows shot out with pellet or BB guns or something. And the only thing the Orono police did was say, come and take a one-page report and say there's nothing we can do.
Yep, that's about right. Protect and serve.
Yeah, well, I've got them on the property for the neighbors doing a 12-page police report because there's footprints in the snow.
You got cameras out there now?
I do now, finally.
Good deal. Yeah, those will definitely help you because they can't deny that. They can't deny that. They have to do a charge if it's on camera.
So thank you for saying that, because that's exactly why I made the video of the Orono inspection when the guy came around, and that's exactly why I made the video of our compliance, because the camera doesn't lie no matter what a lawyer might say.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you want to add to the stream?
Geez, I think I've talked enough. I got to be plenty of bored people out there.
All right, well, we wish you luck. We're definitely going to do another little morning session before you have to go in there. So that's going to be Monday morning, everybody. What time do you think that's going to be, Jay?
I don't know, let's try 7:30 Monday morning.
That sounds good, 7:30. So after Mark Dice, everybody, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Jay Nygard Monday morning. So
7:30 Central Time.
Yep, Central. So keep that in mind. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for being on here, Jay.